Everybody, welcome back. We are going to be running another lineup builder on the channel today. This is going to be for game week 504. This past weekend, obviously midweek is currently going on as I'm making this. We're not going to score anything. We unfortunately had a DMP for Alex Valera. I can't remember who. Yeah, Rivera has kind of taken his spot right now. He's not playing. So the Universitario boys right now, Pollo, obviously is still. I didn't actually put him on the training ground, but Riveros is kind of our only player we have right now, which is fine. Like I talked about in a previous video, these guys are kind of just supplementary cards. What I mean by that, if you didn't watch the last video, cards. Actually, basically this entire lineup is going to be done in December, so I'm more so trying to play all of my European cards to get their levels up, to get more bonuses on them. So cards like this we played in a lot of the special weekly, the special weekly cups, the events that go on. Obviously, if we can get some decisives, that's great. If not, we're probably not going to win those because they have a ton of, well, you can see it right there. There's 28,000 people playing in this special event. So going over last week, I talked about this before. My internet has been cutting in and out, so sometimes it's just not, it's not gonna be working. We're gonna maybe have to cut some stuff, but a lot of the players that have done really, really well, as you can see, I can't get Lawrence and Melkerson, but Lawrence scored 100 last week. We didn't play him. And Melkerson scored 93, and then as you can see, we do have some, pretty good cards. A lot of them being our European cards. So, in saying that, this week was really, really poor, and I'm just gonna quickly browse through it. So, the RIJ guys, Smolicic as a captain did not play. He has been playing decently for them, but I think they're just kind of rotating their center back pairings right now, and I'm hoping that he is going to come back and play. But like I talked about now, did we need to play three players from the same team right at the start? Unless they're very solidified guys, I don't think it's in my best interest to be playing stacks of some cards that I have. We could have put an extra midfielder in here. We could have just used Soldera or Sardella as our normal defender. We could have played an extra midfielder. Kokubo, St. Trudence have not been playing very well. I believe he is going to be their starter from now on, but they have just not done well. Moving into Makuma did amazing as our captain this week. Zote did not play. Very interesting for AZ not to play him. He is their starter, and I'm very surprised that he didn't play. I will look to see if, maybe he doesn't play again this weekend. The OSI boys, decent, but Jurisic is our captain, picked the wrong captain. Gutierrez, very interestingly, did not play for Ibar, and then so on and so forth. We had so many DMPs this week. Puteras, I'm so surprised he did not play, but again, Bendy, another one. Like, we have a ton. Leighton is a weird one. I thought for Deportivo he was going to play. They are playing Pareno. He hasn't been scored on Sorare in a couple years because they were in League 3. I bought him for maybe like $4. It depends. He is a newcomer. Will he start at some point? Maybe, but having backups is never a bad thing. We do have a ton of goalies that we can play and distribute between lineups. We did not have a contender rare full lineup. Our goalie did not play this weekend, so we just kind of put a lot of our rares into this lineup just as fillers. Again, the Universitario boys, it's unfortunately Valera is not a starter anymore, so it's kind of going to be unfortunate that we can't run him. Sosa didn't play. He's playing this week, or he played midweek, and he did okay. Bade, very surprised he didn't play. This lineup I did talk about. I knew Ryan wasn't going to play. So I thought it was going to be a four-man lineup. Unfortunately, Bade did not play, so I thought he would start for Sevilla. Other ways going forward, like this is what I'm talking about. We could have played Lawrence in this lineup. We could have Dyer was my captaincy was not a great pick. He has not got back into that form from last week, but obviously Sarah finally scored. Suzuki played really, really well. The rest of my lineups are not loading, so regardless, we are going to finally go into the lineup builder. This is what a lot of people are here for. Going forward, because a lot of my teams that I will be playing are in Classic, I just want to explain my thought process going forward. Let me know if you have decided maybe this is a good, or let me know if you think this is a good way of going forward, right? So obviously the three, Prem, La Liga, Bundesliga, we don't have enough cards to make full lineups, so we don't play in those. We just play in Champion. But Champion for Division 3, and, obviously the entire Champion pool is 12,000 players. It'll probably go up in the next coming days with people entering late. But compared to in-season, right now it's only 1,600. Unfortunately, we don't have any in-season cards, or we don't have a ton of in-season cards. We can play some lineups. I think we might look to do that. You never really know. But I think going forward, our main lineups we are going to run is under 23. Contender and under 23 have the most amount of, cards combined between the two of them. So under 23, we will try and build 3 full lineups. And if we can only build 2 based on the goalkeeper that's playing that week, we will, realistically just run 2, and then we will fill in the rest. So that is where we're going to start. We will start with under 23. I'm not really going to preface what my top lineup is, because once I go to Sorare and I actually build the lineups, after looking at what's going on Sorare data, I'll pick and choose based on who I think is going to do well. If I maybe want to relegate a lineup, because I don't think we're going to maybe play in a Division 2 or Division 1, that'll be based on my judgment later on. So our first lineup, if we look at this, obviously, St. Truden play Royal Union. I don't think this is going to be a good game for Kubo. I have a feeling that they are going to lose. So Stajackal, if that's how you even say it, is going to be playing, followed up by Lawrence. We are going to run the both of them. Again, I did talk about running stacks. This is, I think, in a perfect scenario, this is the only stack combination I will run, is a goalie and a defender. If it comes down to it and we're looking for, later on, maybe in Contender, if we just happen to have 3 cards left and they have the best odds, they're home, it's just based on, every analytic, that's how we're going to base our findings on. In saying that, we look at odds right now. We have Tafferner, 22, decent. Like I said, I don't want to run stacks like this, but do I think he will do a better job than playing Mukau and Suzuki? Maybe, maybe not. But I think we're going to run one of them as our extra. So Mukau will go in. Our forward will be... It's unfortunate that Gutierrez does not have 100% start. I don't want to play cards that I don't think are going to play. So Tapia, for instance, is 100%. Reliability is low on that. It's going to be like that for the remainder of the squads, or the players, I should say. So I think we might run Ivankovic in this lineup, because we are going to have to run the OSC boys in a different lineup, and that would make no sense seeing as we have Kavlina. So Ivankovic will go in, and I think we will run probably... Do I think it's a good idea? I don't... Tafferner did well last week. Not terrible. Let's run him, and we are going to give the captaincy to Lawrence just based on last week's developments, seeing as he played unbelievable. Our second team, we do have 3 goalies, which is really, really nice for this lineup. Kevlina will go in. Our center back, I think we're going to run Ikuma. We will run Suzuki and probably is it Sano? I think Sano and Nago. Oh, no. Sorry, Nago is not under 23. We could run Sano, but I might run him in Champ. If he is 100%, that could be an interesting spot. We'll run Suzuki as our midfielder. Forward-wise, we could run Adson. He has been playing decently well. He's home. Could be a favorable matchup. Yeah, we'll run Adson. And our other spot, Ozcan could play. Lewis Miller could play. Jurisic could play. I don't mind that. You know, maybe we get a clean sheet out of this lineup. 2 defenders is always tough. Jurisic didn't play well. They are home. So I think we will. I think we will run Jurisic. It's just our captain. And I think I'll run Ikuma as our captain. Even though he's away, he is kind of a beast for us. And then last but not least, our third team under 23. Hopefully one of these lineups will warrant us a card this week. That would be unbelievable. So Kakubo will go in. It's an interesting one. Spartak play Faranoid. I don't know if I want to run that. Lewis Miller, maybe. Ozcan, this does look like it's maybe our best bet, so we'll go with him. Midfielder, Jankovic could play. He has played well the last couple weeks. Soldo, if he plays, you know, you can never really know. But I think we'll go Jankovic, our forward. Kind of in a tough spot here. It might have to be Tapia. We could play Philippe. We could play Ferry for KV. I think we'll play Philippe. I think we'll do that. And then last but not least, our last card, possibly going to be a midfielder, might be a defender. Do I want to run Soldo? Could run Danny Pereira, who has actually been, you know, pretty solid, all things considered, over the last couple games. So I think we're going to do that. We will run Pereira. And honestly, I might even give him the captaincy. It's between him and Jankovic, honestly. I think I'm going to gamble and go Pereira, even though they're away. I think that looks kind of like a relatively solid lineup. So under 23 is concluded. We will go into Champion Classic. We'll start in Division 3 just because I think we have a solid chance with who's playing. Right. Gazagnia, they are playing away at Madrid. Not the craziest, you know, not crazy, but not the best. But other than that, I think Kenny Lala played very, very well last week. Midfielder Weaver did very well. It just depends on if he's going to start. Castillo did not do great, so I will play Weaver. This is really unfortunate. Like, the fact that Gakpo is more than likely going to be on the bench, it just, I really don't understand. He played so well in the Euros, I thought would have solidified him a starting role, but him and Nunez were both bench players in their game against Ipswich, so it's, you know, going to come down to, do I think that 13% is going to pull through? We have Dubravka, or not Dubravka, we have Dobrik, who we will start, and then last but not least, I'm thinking it's either going to be between Lewis Dunk or, excuse me, Sano. So think we'll run Sano. I think that's what we'll do. 7% bonus being from Antlers. Kenny Lala is going to get our captaincy from last week, so we will hopefully have a full challenger lineup that is all going to play this week. We can hope. So, challenger is our next kind of pick. We only have 2 goalies. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. He's got muscular problems going on. Who is their backup right now? Wow, it's really unfortunate that we bought him. We did trade for him, so we got him at a very low price, but I am interested to see if this is going to now become an issue with Rome here being their starter. He's only played 1 game. Do I think he's going to stay their starter? No. But I will have to look and see what this is going to mean for our lineups going forward, because realistically Dane Sinclair is going to be out at some point. Regardless, we are gonna play Vassen as our goalie. We are not going to play Makuma in this lineup because they do play against each other. So I kind of want one lineup to, you know, hopefully reward us maybe with a clean sheet or a better defensive score. And saying that, McAllister will play in this lineup. Huertas, unfortunately, is not playing this lineup, so Van Hout will be our other midfielder. Our forward will probably be either Ferry, or maybe Ferry in the other lineup, and we'll play Oshani or Yuki Oshi. We'll play Oshi, and then our last midfielder or defender. We could run Bernier. We could run Laud. I wouldn't mind putting Laud in the other lineup, though. I think that would work really well. Yeah, let's run Bernier. McAllister is going to be our captain. I'm hoping for the sake of the game week, they are going to, you know, kick the shit out of St. Truden. So that will be our first lineup in Challenger, and then our second lineup. Obviously, Sinclair is going to play. Makuma will play. Midfielder-wise, I did say we're going to play Laud. We also have Ito who could play probably as our extra, so Laud will go in. Forward, kind of a tough one. Still waiting for Messi to come back from injury. Lazaro, you know, could play, but I think Ferry will be our man. And then midfielder, I will play Ito. So that looks like a good lineup. And then Makuma will be our captain for that. So not going too well, or not going too poorly, I should say. Contender Classic, I think we're gonna run 2 lineups just because I want to run this comp right here in the anti-stack special. I think that could be interesting. A lot of our cards we have right now have been split stacks, so we might get lucky and be able to play that. And we do have 4 goalies potentially playing. I think we might even have, no, we have 5, which is good. So we can definitely run 3 contender lineups, and then, you know, even put somebody like Stankovic into training that we can just get some big XP if he does play. Luckily enough, we will have our contender rare lineup also playing. So the way I see this going, Arias has a stack that we will run with Sosa. So he obviously wouldn't be part of the anti-stack, and Sosa I don't want to split up. Defensively, like I talked about, Lewis Miller can play, Jankovic can play, or Jelenik can play, sorry. And then we obviously have the Osaka boys we could run. We have Rivaros we can run. So we have a decent amount of defenders. Again, Jay Wong we are going to run, but we'll run him in the stack with the other Jeju boys. So, in saying that, I might give Lewis Miller a little go here. I might see if he can perform this weekend. That would be amazing for us. Forward-wise, Gutierrez, unfortunate. Shacklin could be a good shout. You know, we have Leo Serra. Schmeiler. Yeah, we actually have a decent amount of forwards to get through here. So let's go Shacklin. I think I might run the Osaka boys in almost a full stack. I think that is what I'm looking to do. And then defensively, I might have to run another midfielder. I might run Costa. Honestly, could be decent. Could be decent. We also could run Taeyun, if that's how you say it. Probably not, but we should maybe some of the other. No. Well, I want to try out some new cards. We'll run Costa, and then Sosa will be our captain. This will be one of our lineups. Secondly, as I talked about, we are going to run a little Jeju stack in Kim Dong-jun. Where is he? Jaewon. And then we will run Tanaka, Leo Serra, and for our last player, which is interesting. Maybe Jelenik. I think we have another center back we can run in the next lineup. Actually, I think we have more forwards than anything. It's an interesting one. We have a lot of those. Yeah. We'll run this. We'll run it like that. I think Tanaka is going to get our captaincy here. So we'll save that. We are going to quickly change because I don't want to see these rares anymore. We will run Contender rare. So Bovenik will start. Interestingly enough, I might run Calvo again. He did play well the last week. Boyd Munch did not play, but they do play Celtic. That'll be tough. So Robert will go in. Forward, I'm not sure what the best way to do this. Melkerson played really, really well, but do I think he's going to repeat that? Maybe not. I feel like Sancris might be a good card to play, and then it might be Romero here. Boyd Munch, I don't know. That's tough. If there's a lot of goals in this game, he will get throttled. Romero did play well the last week he played, so we will play him. Calvo will be our captain, and that is our rare lineup. And now we can use some rares in some other spots, most notably Melkerson and Boyd Munch. We're going to go back to Contender. We have one more lineup to run. And I think I'm going to run Lee Wong, defender. We could run him. We could run Rivaros, though. I think that might be a good play. Midfielder, we have Nago. I totally forgot. We could play him. Forward, Laurent will play. And our extra, we could run Soldo. Might not be a terrible way to go. We will run Schmeiler as our forward, I think, in the next lineup. Soldo, Boyd Munch, Trimmer, Timur, Poyo. We can't run a stack in the next one, so I guess Poyo could fit there. Boyd Munch could play. Soldo could play. I think we'll run him. I think that's what we'll do. I think Nago is going to get our captain. And our last lineup to end the video, once I find it, okay, anti-stack. Our goalkeeper, I think we're going to run Zoan, however you say it. So he will go. Gomez could be a shout. I don't know if he will play. We did actually, from Rivals, we did pack Bade, who is great because he sells for like $20. So if he ever gets into Barcelona's lineup, I believe he's coming off of injury. So once he gets in, I think he will be a very, very good card for us. Lewis Dunk, obviously we talked about how he's playing, United. Not the best. I don't think that's the best call. It's a tough one on the back front here. Yeah, it might. This is just more of a lineup that is kind of interesting. If not Sosa, hopefully he does end up playing. He did make a move to Torino, which is interesting enough. I honestly didn't follow that. This is honestly a tough one. Like, very much. Tuta again. Playing Dortmund, that's tough. Caleb Wiley just moved from Chelsea on, I think it's a permanent transfer. Coulomb could play, was played very, very well. But yeah, this is tough. I might run, oh, I didn't mean to click that. I might run Mike. Honestly, I think that's going to be our defense. Defense is kind of an issue right now. Kind of an issue. John could play. What do we have up here? We have anybody like Puteris we could potentially play. There's a good chance he doesn't start, which is unfortunate. So I might not even run him this week. Castillo, Yamamoto, Lima, Pollo. I think maybe Pollo for sure. Forward wise, I said it was going to be Schmeiler, but is there anybody else? Gutierrez. Oh man, I think like it was so much nicer when I only run a couple lineups and I only had so many cards to pick from. You know, Braithwaite we could play, but I have him listed right now, and I really don't see myself. I feel like I want to try and get rid of him. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Schmeiler. And then for our midfielder spot, or sorry, for our extra spot, probably gonna end up being a midfielder. Could be Dunk though, realistically. Could be Dunk. United are so susceptible to having an absolutely god-awful week. Or Yamamoto. They do play Union, though. This lineup's not a huge deal, so I might go with Lewis Dunk. Test him out, and then I don't know who to captain here. I really don't. Like, Pollo, maybe. Dunk, maybe. It's kind of a shittier lineup, to be completely honest with you, but I think Lewis Dunk will get the captaincy. Hopefully they can keep United at bay. No. That's not a good play. I don't think that's the way. Van Buse? Maybe. Let's try. I haven't played him. We will captain him. We will see. And that's going to be our lineup. So we do have a lot of players not playing. They will go into our training lineup, and yeah, we'll go from there. Obviously, I do need a couple more weeks to maybe figure out who is kind of a mainstay and who's not. But yeah, that's going to be all for the episode. It's a little bit longer. It's like almost a 30-minute episode, but I hope you guys did enjoy. And let me know if maybe I should look to, sell off some players who really aren't playing and maybe move into maybe another rare lineup. That definitely could. We could look to kind of have a rare contender and a rare challenger, but I'm a little iffy with some goalkeepers right now, so that'll have to be something that I do give a look at. But if you like the video, smash that like button, subscribe, comment down below who you think I should get rid of, maybe who I should add, and maybe some lineups I should put together. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Hopefully you guys had a good couple good midweek games if you guys played some lineups, and looking forward to 504 and getting some good decisives and hopefully some rewards for you guys, so we can finally have a reward video. It won't come out for a while, or I'm gonna have to talk about it. I do leave in 3 days, so I'm gonna have to situate myself, but that's gonna be all from me. I can't talk right now. I'm gonna end the video. Press the out. Peace.